Hi, I'm Ulysses, and I'm here with Sienna Branch Library. Today we will be talking about how to make your car stereo intriguing. So, how can you make your car stereo more intriguing? Well, a lot of us on our drives and daily commutes, whether we're going to work, running errands, or traveling, we all like to listen to our car stereos. Basically, it's our home away from home. So here at Sienna Branch Library and Fort Bend County Libraries, we want to make sure that you make that drive and commute more intriguing. So why try an audio service? Most car stereos have only AM and FM radio, and reception on some stations are not clear enough, even on FM radio. Also, most people like to switch between stations to listen to a variety, whether it's music, talk radio, or sports radio. And it's also rare when you leave it on only one station. Sometimes you want to listen to different genres that are not available over the air, whether it's through AM or FM. And even if you listen to your own music from your phone, that could get boring as well. So we're here to help you to try to make your car stereo more intriguing. So what exactly do you need? Well, first and foremost, you need a smartphone with a data plan. Most people that own a smartphone, whether it's an iPhone or Android phone, it automatically comes with a data plan. So you don't need to worry much about that right there. But depending on the phone you have, you can connect it to your stereo through Bluetooth or an aux cable. Some newer phone models don't have the headphone jack anymore, so you're not going to use the aux cable. You're going to use Bluetooth. But some older phone models, they have the headphone jack and they also have Bluetooth. So it's your choice. But if you have an older car, you might have to use an FM transmitter, which would be something like this. Not all FM transmitters look the same. With some of them, you could use it with or without Bluetooth. As you can see in the picture here, this FM transmitter, you could use it with an aux cable, but you could use it with Bluetooth. With some of them, as mentioned previously, you can only use it through Bluetooth. And if you have an even older car stereo, you might have to use an actual cassette adapter. So as you can see here, it's not really expensive. Basically, most people already have the smartphones and FM transmitters. Depending on how much you want to spend, you might even spend less than $10 or just a little bit more than $10. So as you can see here, it's really not that expensive, and auxiliary cables, they're not that expensive, and you might even own one already. So what type of audio sources are available? Well, here we are going to be highlighting 5 different ones: Spotify, Pandora, TuneIn, iHeartradio, and radio.com. There might be some out there, other type of audio services, but these are the main popular ones and the most well-known ones. So Spotify, they offer a free service plan besides the paid premium subscription. They have curated lists for your favorite artists and genres. The apps are available for both iOS, which would be iPhones, and Androids. The app will make it easier to stream through your car stereo, and podcasts are available as well. Going back to the app, with all of these services, they all offer apps. And the reason why it's going to make it a lot easier, it's easier if you download any of these apps on your phone. So when you're in your car stereo, you pull up the app instead of always having to try to pull up your browser on your phone and going to that specific site. Apps just makes it a lot easier for any of these services. Okay, so let's take a look at Spotify. So as you could see here with Spotify, they offer the premium service, but they also offer a free service. So I'm going to click here. So it is going to try to download the actual software onto my computer, but we're not going to install it at all. So as you can see here for Spotify, you can use it for your mobile phone, your smartphone. You could use it on the computer. You could use it on a tablet, whether it's an iPad or Android tablet, your car. Some car stereos, depending on how new your car is, they might have Spotify and Pandora, an app already installed in your car stereo. You could do it on gaming systems like the PlayStation, the Xbox. You could do it. You could do it through your TV, which would have to be a smart TV, a speaker. Basically, it would be a smart speaker like an Alexa or one of the Google smart speakers, and the web player. Basically, web player will be playing it on a computer on the laptop, such as the one that I'm using for this video. So I'm going to click on web player. Okay, so as you can see here, they offer different genres, different subgenres for all types of music. So you are going to find something that you like on Spotify. For example, if you're still in school and if you have something coming up, how about some chill lo-fi study beats? The perfect study beats 24/7. So this would be music for that you could listen to, but at the same time concentrate for your class. Or how about moods? How about mood booster? Get happy with today's dose of feel good songs. And as mentioned, they also have podcasts as well, popular new releases, and many other options. Okay, so let me scroll back up and I'm going to click on search. And I'm actually going to search for certain artists. I'm going to search for a classic artist, the Rolling Stones. Okay, so once I get here on the Rolling Stones, as you could see here, I could start listening to some of their popular songs, or I could listen to their different albums under their discography. As you could see here, featuring Rolling Stone, rock classics would be different songs from different classic rock artists, all out 80s, all out 70s. Right here, you do get recommendations to other type of artists, which would be kind of similar to the Rolling Stones. If you want to see more, you just click on see all. And they also have on different albums that they appear on, whether it's a soundtrack or a compilation album. Okay, so this is Spotify. Okay, let's take a look at our next service. Pandora. They offer a free service plan, just like Spotify, beside the paid premium subscription. They have personalized stations for your favorite artists and genres. There's apps available for both iOS and Android, and the app will make it easier to stream through your car stereo. And just like Spotify, they have podcasts available as well. Okay, so Pandora. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down. As you could see here for Pandora, just like Spotify, they have a free service and they have two different tiers of paid services. Okay, so just like Spotify, you could search by song, even podcast, or an artist. So I'm going to use the same artist that I use on Spotify, Rolling Stones. Okay, so I'm going to click on the Rolling Stones. Okay, so they have their latest release, the song, and the album. As you can see here, top songs, top albums, see all albums would be their whole discography, and similar artists. Okay, so let me go back to Pandora. Okay, so like I said, Spotify and Pandora, these two services focus more on music, even though they offer podcasts. So if you want to listen to different genres or discover new types of music, Spotify and Pandora are two good choices. Okay. TuneIn. Okay. They offer a free service plan besides the paid premium subscription. TuneIn caters more in actual radio stations, news, sports, and talk radios, and national stations. They have apps available for both iOS and Android, and the app will make it much easier to stream through your car stereo as any of the other sources. And they have podcasts available as well. Okay, so let me go to TuneIn. Okay, so with TuneIn, like mentioned previously, they focus more on actual radio stations, whether it's local, national from around the country, or different cities from around the country, and also the world. So I'm going to scroll down here. So as you could see here, breaking news, these would be national news, CNN, CNBC, MSNBC, Fox News Radio, Sports Radio, ESPN Radio, Talk Sport, which is actually from the United Kingdom, Skip and Shannon Undisputed, which would basically be the podcast of the show that you would actually watch on FS1. Nonstop music, dedicated channels for different genres and subgenres, and they have podcasts as well. Okay, so I'm going to click here on Listen Now. Okay, so something that I want to highlight is here, local radio. Okay, so you might say, why do I want to listen to local radio on TuneIn when I already have AM and FM in my car stereo? Well, the reason why is because some car stereos actually have a built-in HD tuner for HD radio. If you think FM sounds good on your car stereo, with an HD radio, it actually sounds a lot clearer and a lot better. Some cars have it automatically installed when you purchase it in the dealer and drive it off the lot. But some people sometimes, when they upgrade their stereo, they might get an HD tuner with it. So with HD radio, you actually get more radio stations for free at no cost for no subscription at all. So for example, most people have access to FM 88.7, which is Houston Public News Media, which is part of Channel 8, PBS. But if you have an HD radio in your car, you actually get more options like 88.7 HD2 and 88.7 HD3. So if I scroll down here, for example, 104.1 HD classic hits. This is actual oldies music from the 60s and the 70s, something that you don't listen to regular FM anymore. But if you have like an HD radio, you could actually try to find this substation on there and you'll find it. But if you don't have an HD radio in your car, this is where TuneIn comes in. You download the app, you search for this, you actually add it as a favorite, and whenever you want to listen to oldies in your car, you could just listen to this local classic hit station here in Houston. Okay, so music. As you could see here, they have a dedicated channel, just like Spotify and Pandora, but you could also listen to radio stations from around the world, like BBC Radio 2. If I were to click this right now and listen to it, whatever they're listening to, let's say in London, I could listen to it right now, right here through TuneIn. Okay, so let me scroll down. So you could see here, they have a ton of genres and subgenres, like throwback hits, different channels. And even within those genres, like I mentioned, they have subgenres, whether it's a dedicated channel or a specific radio station. And if we scroll down here, they have podcasts for music, not just for music, but also for news and talk and also sports. This is one of my favorites down here, Global Music Radio. If you're ever curious to see to what's popular around the world, this would be for you. Global Music Radio, BBC Radio, Bayern would be in Germany, Triple J Australia. So you could see you have access to a lot of stuff on TuneIn. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on sports now. Personally, I love listening to sports radio. So this is something that I use a lot in my own car. So as you can see here, ESPN radio, this would be the same thing you listen as if you were to download the ESPN app and listen to ESPN radio, or if you pull up the ESPN site and when you click on listen, this is what you would listen to all their national shows. Houston does have ESPN radio, but the only problem is that they only offer 2 hours of one of their national morning show from 5 to 7 a.m. And the rest of the 22 hours, it's only local stuff. So if you want to listen to their premium catering that they offer on ESPN radio, this is what you could do. You could use TuneIn Radio. So as you can see here, you could also listen to other sports stations from around the country. And as well, you could also listen to other stations from around the world. So as you could see here, these right here are actually podcasts that you could actually download and stream from your phone without actually having to use your data plan. Okay, so as you can see here, biggest voice in sports, ESPN Radio, they have Fox Sports, they have The Ringer, Yahoo Sports, SB Nation, Global Sports Radio, TUDN Radio would be Spanish Sports Radio, Talk Sports, as mentioned previously, is from the United Kingdom, BBC Radio 5, TSN, the main sports station in Toronto. So as you can see, you have local, national, and global. Okay. And as you can see here, they also have dedicated channels for college sports. Gonzaga basketball, Colorado football, Miami football. Let me scroll back up and I'm going to click on Skip and Shannon Undisputed. This is actually a podcast. Okay. As you could see here, once the show ends on the current day, they actually upload it here on TuneIn. So as you could see here, this is the full show from yesterday. Below it, they offer the best of, which is basically a condensed, abridged version of the show. So basically, if you have time and you want to listen to the whole show, just click on full show and listen to it. If you don't have as much time, then you just click on the best stuff, and it's going to be the best of that particular day's episode. Okay, so let's go to news and talk. As you could see here, as I mentioned, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News Radio, CNBC, Bloomberg, CBS News, C-SPAN. These would all be national news radio stations. You even have Al Jazeera, CNN International, Headlines, AP. So let me go down here. So if you're not originally from Texas, but like to say you got here as fast as you can, you could also listen to other news stations from where you're originally from or other parts because you might just be curious. So, for example, New York, Boston, Oregon. And as I've been scrolling through here, you also have a lot of podcasts. So, something that I want to highlight is the BBC. Okay. Okay. So, BBC, if you don't have cable or satellite, they actually air 30 minutes of BBC News on local channel 8 PBS. But if you want to listen to BBC News, you could actually listen to their World Service News. This one right here, BBC World Service News, is basically what they air in different parts of the world. But in different countries of the world, you could actually get it through actual FM or you could actually get it through shortwave. Here in the United States, if you want to listen to it, you actually have to go to their actual website, or you could just come here on TuneIn, add it as a favorite, and you can listen to it whenever you want. Okay, so this is TuneIn. Let's take a look at another service. iHeartradio. They offer a free service plan besides the paid premium subscription. They cater more in local radio station, artist stations, and music stations, just like Spotify Pandora. There's apps available for both iOS and Android. The app will make it easier to stream through your car stereo. And like the other services, they also have podcasts available as well. Okay, so iHeartRadio. They do cater to actual live radio stations as well. And this is what I'm going to click on right now. So as you can see here, these are some of the local radio stations that they offer. So something that I'm going to say right now is when it comes to local radio stations, you're not going to find all the local radio stations on TuneIn, and you're not going to find them on iHeart, and you're not going to find them on radio.com. So if you actually want all the local radio stations in Houston, you would actually have to download the three different apps: TuneIn, iHeart, and radio.com. But with some of the stations, they might appear on more than one app, but no radio station appears on all three apps. So as you can see here on iHeartRadio, besides the local radio stations, they have other specialty stations available only through iHeart app. For example, iHeart 2010s radio, commercial free hits from the 2010s. So if I click on podcasts, as you can see here, The Breakfast Club, this is something that airs through a local Houston station, but it's actually a national radio show. So if you ever miss it and you want to listen to it again, you can always click on here and just download the podcast and listen to when you have some time. So as you can see here, they have a nice selection of podcasts, or you could also search by topic. So kind of like Spotify and Pandora, they have artist channels. So what I like about iHeart is that It actually combines a little bit of Spotify, Pandora, TuneIn, and radio.com into one. But like I said, you do get a little bit more options maybe on the other ones, and what you don't find on the other ones, you might find on iHeart or on some of the other apps. Okay, so that's iHeartRadio. Okay, radio.com. Radio.com is the only one of these apps that's completely free and there's no premium service at all. They actually cater more in actual local radio stations with some national stations. They have apps available for both iOS and Android, and the app will make it easier to stream through your car stereo. And they have podcasts available as well. Okay, radio.com. Let me click on stations, and I'm going to click on stations by city. As you could see here, it's listing me stations alphabetically, not by state. It's actually by the country, USA. Okay, so let's scroll down and let's find Houston. So as you could see here, like mentioned before, if you're not originally from Texas or from Houston, you could listen to radio stations from your hometown, which I think is actually great. Okay, so let me click here on See All. Okay, as you could see here, these are the local radio stations that are offered on radio.com. As you could see here, this one right here, Hard Rock 96.5 HD2. It's something that some people could listen to their car stereos, as mentioned previously before, if they have HD radio and HD tuner. If you don't, but you want to listen to it, hey, just download the app, connect it to your stereo, and listen to some hard rock. Okay, so right here under stations, partners, you could also use this one to listen to CNN National News, Bloomberg, Fox News, and comedy as well. So if I click here on music, let me click on all music stations. As you could see here, under the genre pop, it's actually all radio stations. It's not like iHeart, TuneIn, Spotify, Pandora, where it actually has dedicated channels. Any genre you want to listen to on here, it's actually a local station from whether it's here in Houston or from somewhere else in the country. If I click on news, it actually gives you news, or you could also listen to your local news station, or you could listen to CNN because it's available. So if I click here, for example, national news, it gives me national news. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on sports. Okay, so I'm going to click on all sports stations. So as you can see here, it gives me all the sports stations from around the country. But something that I do want to highlight right here, CBS Sports Radio 650 AM and CBS Sports Radio, they are actually the same. If I click here on CBS Sports Radio, this is their national feed. But if I actually listen to it on 650 AM in my car, it's the exact same thing. They only carry national sports radio. They do not carry any local. Some people like it, some don't. Personally, I'm actually a big fan of it because they carry national news. Okay, so radio.com. Okay. Okay, so I would like to thank you for taking this time and looking at this video on how to make your car stereo more intriguing. I hope that you'll actually take the time to download some of these apps and listen through it through your car stereo, or if not, just take a listen through it at home or at work. So just remember, happily listening.